This is the way.
Wow, it's very nice.
What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central Time. It is the tagline, the show where the tagline is the title. We are the Cinefanatics. My name is Robert Adams.
I'm Chris.
Way to hit that with enthusiasm. Good job, Chris. Welcome, everyone, to watching this show. How is everyone doing tonight? Woo!
I'm okay.
You're okay? Yeah, you sound like it.
I'm doing fair.
You're doing dandy. I'm just peachy.
I'm fair.
You're fair?
I'm fair.
You're fair weathered?
I guess. I don't know. How's Dallas doing right now?
Dallas.
Hey-o, I'm a fair weather Dallas fan.
Dallas?
Hey-o.
Oh, you talking about football?
Those are sports.
Yeah, they started sports up again. I felt like I needed to watch like a sports movie to kind of help celebrate and be like, yay!
Movies are being delayed still, but sports is back. Hey, whatever.
Yeah, but no one's in the stands. That would be like a movie theater playing a movie with no one sitting in the theater.
You can be in the stands, you just have to be made out of cardboard.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, kind of the same thing. It's a movie theater playing a movie, but no one's sitting in the theater. They're just playing the movie on the screen.
What if they did that? What if you went to a movie right now and the seats next to you that obviously can't be filled because of social distancing measures in theaters were just filled with people that were made of cardboard?
Why would they do that?
Make you feel like you're watching the movie in community.
In the meantime, you're watching the theater at home. You're not watching the movie. You're just watching the camera filming the theater.
Oh, there's that.
And the cardboard people sitting in the theater.
I was talking about your experience at the theater. You're sitting next to a cardboard person who's
so
also on their phone and breathing and sneezing next to you.
So one of my bosses at work is a huge he's a huge baseball fan. I can't remember. I want to say it's like the Rangers. They did something where, like, I guess he was a season ticket holder to begin with, and then they said, hey, you can't physically come here and watch the game, so we're going to refund you your season pass, but here's what we can do is you send us an image of you and we'll put it on the cardboard cutout and stick it in the stands. So as the camera's passing through the stands while the game's going on, you could potentially see yourself sitting in the stands as a cardboard cutout. So he got it for himself and his father, and then after the season's over, they shipped the cardboard back to you as like your little souvenir. I was like, that's kind of a cool idea.
Well, that's adorable.
Has nothing to do with movies, so let's move on.
Great. I cannot be at the game, and a cardboard representation of myself can have all the fun.
Yeah. That's funny.
Does my cardboard version also get a sweet stadium hot dog?
Possibly. They just smeared over the front of it. Like, you got something on your...
You just ship me a package of Ballpark Franks?
You got something around your... I don't know if I wipe my mouth clean. Anyways, I'm looking.
What? What?
So again, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here as the show gets started. If y'all have any questions, make sure to drop those down at the Streamlabs, which is above his head. There's also the super chat. Give us a heads up. Let us know you're in the chat. Say, hey, what's going on, guys? We're here. Let's talk. Let's have some interaction as we're doing this show. Again, this is Tuesday night. We started this at 9 p.m. Central Time, so we are a little early because we will be doing the Schmodown replay in a little over an hour. So we've got the Schmodown replay to do tonight, which is
Two Stream Tuesday.
Yeah, Two Stream Tuesday going on. It is Jader Promo versus Tom.
Got one more week of Two Stream Tuesday next week, and then we're smooth sailing.
And then we're going to be back to our normal tagline time at 9:30 p.m. Central Time.
Hey, let's talk about that. Do we want to do 9:30 or do we want to stay at 9? Let's find out.
I kind of want to keep it at 9:30 just because it's not a huge rush to get home from work like we did last night. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the game plan for right now. Anyways, what else do we got going on? Before we dive into movie news, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've watched absolutely nothing.
Well, I haven't gotten to there yet, so...
I'm getting ahead of the game.
Oh, okay. Way to save some time.
We actually got quite a fair dinkum amount to talk about.
I watched Annie
I'm
Hall.
Australian.
I watched Annie Hall, so...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Got caught up on a movie I should have seen long time ago. Watched it. Really liked it. It was pretty good.
Oh, that Woody...
Controversy of Woody Allen aside, I know, like, that's still...
He He's a guy doing some weird things.
No. I did read up on that controversy. I don't want to dive into it, but yep, I know there's something there. And that's the problem with some of these movies is, and I've heard this a lot more lately ever since like the Me Too thing back in 2017, is separating the artist from the art. Big example is Kevin Spacey. I will always love Usual Suspects, and I love his performance in The Usual Suspects. Don't really like the guy right now, though.
Yeah, that being said, though, Baby Driver's getting really hard to watch.
Baby Driver, yeah, especially that one particular line.
And real hard to watch. No, it's not just that. It's also Ansel Elgort apparently is not a great person.
Oh.
I don't know how that actually shaked out.
That's right.
I stopped following that whole story, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
something on John Hamm and Jamie Foxx, and let's call it a day.
Ugh, let's not. Let's try to save as many good actors as we can.
Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, saw Annie Hall, liked it. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it. Good movie. Patreon. This weekend we are doing a movie watch along. Still haven't figured out what it is. You know what? Here's the thing. In all honesty, I feel like this might be a good time to go back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's what I was thinking.
I know we had planned to do.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, what was that from?
That's
that Jack in the Box commercial where they're like the stoner dudes driving the van.
How many tacos should I get? 20.
I thought it was like 30. Whatever. I mean, I'll take 30 Jack in the Box tacos too. They're good.
Are you gonna eat 20 tacos?
If I was like,
still an absurd
that
number.
guy was like Shaggy in like a stoner's van.
Number. We are off topic. What movie are we watching on the watch along?
So we started off the watch alongs with Iron Man. I think we're going to go. Do we want to go Iron Man 2 or Incredible Hulk? Which one's actually available on Disney Plus?
You can't get Incredible Hulk on Disney Plus.
Okay, so we're gonna have to skip Incredible Hulk. So we'll dive into Iron Man 2.
It's the forgotten child of the MCU, anyway.
Yeah, it's because
I like it. It's a great movie.
It's because Universal owns the distribution rights to it.
Universal's being Universal.
Yeah. Not a big fan of Universal as far as like monetization of doing their trailer reactions go either.
Yeah.
WB on the other hand used to be like pretty heavy handed with the claiming monetization rights. I can't say the word. I know.Moving on.
You're saying that they're not now?
No,
that's not true.
They used to be very strict. Our Dune trailer reaction still not monetized by them.
Well, it
so
will be after this. The
they're,
Batman one though is.
Oh yeah, that one got
making no money off that.
That got nabbed real quick. Is Chris's mic on?
Is it? Is it on?
Yeah,
it should be on. I'm just probably talking very quietly because I'm still dealing with such.
Yeah, his mic's on. Can
you hear me now?
So Garth is saying, hey there, Walken is great in Annie Hall, especially in the car driving scene. Yeah, there's a part where he seems like completely normal, and then he tells Woody Allen's character is like, yeah, so sometimes when I'm driving, I can like predict people's like deaths and stuff. And, like immediately I was like, oh, the dead zone. Nice. So, and then like the very next thing they show is Christopher Walken driving with Annie and Alvy, Woody Allen's character, and Annie's sitting in the middle like all happy-go-lucky, and Woody Allen's just looking over at Christopher Walken like, you okay, dude? You okay, bro? Or something like that, however Woody Allen would say it.
I would love to hear Woody Allen say, you okay, bro?
Yeah, because he's got the very stereotypical Jewish voice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to give me dysentery. I was trying to figure out like how I could do like a Woody Allen impression the entire time I'm watching the movie, and I was like, I can't.
Garth, my volume is not lower. My brother's just a loud a-hole.
Yeah, volume is lower than Robert. Yeah, because I'm right up here, and
he's a boisterous son
I'm
of a
a
gun.
very boisterous person, so.
Boisterous. I'm not going to say son of a you-know-what, because we share a mom.
Anyways, moving on. So I saw Annie Hall.
Good job. MCU. Yeah, let's do Iron Man 2. We're doing Iron Man 2 on Saturday.
Let's do Iron Man 2. That sounds good.
We're skipping Incredible Hulk because Universal.
Iron Man 2 is on Disney Plus. That sounds fantastic.
Let's do it.
Especially because that one is kind of like as far as the MCU movies go.
Yeah, I really just want to complain about how the final fight lasted all of
like 2 seconds.
Maybe a minute.
Anyways, if y'all want to watch that, hop on patreon.com/cinefanatics at the $10 tier. Make sure you either have the DVD, the Blu-ray, or you have Disney Plus saved up, ready to go.
Oh yeah.
And come join us. I believe we'll probably do that. That's what, Saturday? We'll probably do it around this time Saturday night.
Are you working Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll probably do it around this time Saturday.
Probably 9 p.m. Central Time Saturday, so that'll be 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern, and that's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to be talking about his bird. He wants his bird.
I want my bird.
My bird.
I want my bird.
So come for all the really bad Russian accents.
Want a bird? I'll get you a bird.
Yeah.
I'll get you any bird you want.
Actually, that's a really good. That actually does kind of sound like Sam Rockwell. Yeah.
Don't ask me to ever do Sam Rockwell again because that's a once in a lifetime impression.
That was pretty good. You need to do his quotes from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles though. Family? You call that a No, that's Casey Jones that says that.
I can't remember what the quotes are.
Where he's walking the people around his the place where the Foot Clan's at, and he's like, anything you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Anything. He's like, you got any cigarettes? He's like, regular or menthol? I was like, little kids smoking. It's so early 90s. So we got Tyler is here.
I think Garth is wanting me to quote this because he gave a full walk-in quote.
Oh, yeah, because your Christopher Walken is pretty good.
But I don't know the inflection that he uses in the movie.
It's Christopher Walken. He only has one inflection
so basically
ever.
Just say it as
Yeah.
how I would normally do a walk-in impression, and then it's just gonna work.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it real quick. I might see if I can try this.
Yeah, he posted the quote as two separate postings on there.
Yeah. I have to. You always, in order to do the walk-in impression, you always got to start with the "Hey."
Hey.
You stop.
I know mine's
doing it.
Mine's John Travolta. Yours is Christopher Walken.
Every time I do it, you don't need to follow it up with your horrible attempt.
No, I just feel like you as Christopher Walken, me as John Travolta need to be in a movie.
I want to hey with you in solidarity. Hey,
Sandy.
Can I confess something? I'll tell you as an artist. I think you'll understand. Sometimes when I'm driving on the road at night, I see two headlights coming toward me. Fast. I have this sudden impulse to turn the wheel quickly, head on into the oncoming car. I can anticipate the explosion, the sound of shattering glass, the flames rising out, the flowing gasoline.
That's pretty good.
I was going a little too quick. Walken's actually much slower, but
yeah. That was really good. Anyways, moving on.
Anyway, so if you want to send to Streamlabs for that impression.
Yeah. In the future, in impressions like that, just $20 stream or whatever the charge is for impressions.
Hey, baby, I'll do whatever I want. Just send the 20 spot.
So moving on. Personal stuff. Personal, I would say real quick, because I know nobody really wants to hear this. We're here to talk about movies, but I mean, we do have personalities, and so therefore we're personal.
Also, to do a Patrick Warburton impression. Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, his Patrick Warburton is really good too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing what's his face from Emperor's New Groove. Kronk. Yeah. So personally, I know I'm wanting to dive back into doing vlogging. I don't know when I'm going to get the time because I barely have the time to do this, but I mean, we're still holding on. Probably I might work on something here in like another couple of days, especially because, you know, there's a birthday coming up and that seems kind of special.
Now you're just copying me.
Well, okay, sure.
I'm working on a vlog I shot on my birthday.
That's not going to come out until my birthday.
No, it's probably not going to come out until after your birthday.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I kind of want to do something like that again. So going back over to my YouTube channel to do stuff like that, because I feel like I got some stuff I want to talk about. Should shake some stuff out of the attic up here. And movies watched, we covered that. Okay, so movie news, real quick. I want to dive into something. It's not necessarily movie news, but it's movie related. We've done it before. So we'll talk about it real quick. They released a trailer for season 2 of Mandalorian.
This is the way.
Yeah. So Interesting.
Christopher Walken's trying to sing the Mandalorian theme, which has no words, by the way.
Anyways, so they released this. Looks good.
It looks great.
I saw it briefly real quick. Now the thing is like some of the characters they're introducing in this, some of them are from other like Star Wars properties that I'm not 100% familiar with.
Yeah.
I know they were saying
Ahsoka.
that Ahsoka was going to be in this.
Rosario Dawson's apparently supposed to be playing Ahsoka. Yeah.
I don't believe we saw her in the trailer.
We did not.
Okay, we saw someone in the trailer.
You saw a hooded figure, which was Sasha Banks. She's a wrestler. She is playing somebody in this. The thought right now is that she is portraying Sabine Wren, which is a Mandalorian character from Star Wars Rebels.
Now, real quick, going off that, that's the one that I believe, if I remember correctly, hearing about it, she was the last one to have that black shiny sword thing.
The last one that we saw with it, yes.
That Gideon Moff Gideon has.
Prior to Giancarlo Esposito having it.
Yeah.
I swear
Moff
I
Gideon.
have to fight from saying Stanton every time because that's someone completely different.
Thank you, Schmodown.
Thank you, Ben Bateman.
So yeah, it looks good, and that's the thing. Like I think we mentioned it last night on the replay that just watching TV shows is very hard to do. We managed to crank out Mandalorian when it first came out.
Mandalorian's easier because if they're going to follow through with what they did the first season for the second season, then you're looking at another 8 episodes of about 30 to maybe 40 minutes tops an episode, which
easily digestible.
It's easily digestible. You can throw that on, and it's once a week. They release it once a week, so it's real quick. Now, I don't like that. I want 12 episodes at an hour an episode, but that at that point, when you start getting to the 12-episode seasons based on the way they're telling stories now, you're looking at potentially an episode of like super filler content, and you don't necessarily need that for the stories. I just would love hour-long episodes, kind of dive deeper into that world on each episode, since I have to wait a week every single time anyway.
Yeah, you can't really necessarily binge it. For comparison, I mentioned that like the only TV show I'm actually watching right now is The Boys. Now that The Boys is back. The boys are back in town. Anyways, I had to change the pitch on it. It's not that I'm a bad singer. I just had to change the pitch so we didn't get.
Back in town.
Yeah, thanks. Anyways,
Hey.
so I'm watching that. And that one they're also releasing like once a week now.
Boys, yeah.
But that show is an hour long. So Mandalorian looks fantastic. I can't wait to get back more into that and see exactly what Moff Gideon is going to do with that shiny black sword.
That little laser sword.
Whatever it's called.
The dark saber.
The dark saber. That's what I was going to say.
He's going to wreak havoc is what he's going to do. He's going to throw all the Mandalorians into a tizzy.
Which is funny because he's also like the main bad guy on The Boys right now. Also,
like
yeah. So if you need a good bad guy for your show,
he's just really good.
You called Giancarlo Esposito.
That's why people are wanting him to play like Magneto. Also,
I mean, I could see that, but you said you started watching Breaking Bad, but
yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes and never continued because the quarantine, the whole pandemic stuff was like really getting to me.
It's like sad enough, like depressing enough as
this
is.
Whole story about a guy who's dying of cancer and having to make meth in order to survive. Not really the story I really want to be watching right now.
So you need to get back on that and
I will.
continue watching it to get to where they introduce Gus Fring.
Yeah.
And the Los Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah, I'll get back into that.
Which Binging with Babish released a video of him making the chicken from Los Pollos Hermanos. So
yeah. So Garth said that Sasha Banks is rumored to play Sabine. The thing is, I was watching SCN Live earlier today, and Christian was saying that he's about 95% certain that she's actually not playing Sabine. Now, the issue with that is Christian's usually pretty good about Christian Harloff, for those who don't know, is usually pretty good about predicting these kinds of things that happen within the Star Wars realm. Mm-hmm. He, very, very rightly predicted the Emperor was going to come back in Rise of Skywalker, way before any of us really knew that. And so the thing with that is that I don't necessarily not trust Christian's opinion or take on that. especially when someone like Roxy asks him if he has any inside information, and he just repeats himself saying, yeah, I'm about 95% certain that she's not playing Sabine. So there's a chance that she's actually just flat out playing a new character that we've never heard of before. And that the misdirection that we think that the trailer was trying to give by going Jedi and then there's Sasha Banks, and that's not happening at all. She is actually playing maybe a Jedi or playing some kind of new character of some sort. But
well, I mean, so far they've introduced a lot of new characters on that show, and I really like them.
So here, everybody's a new character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, looking forward to that. Can't wait to see how that continues to expand upon the Star Wars universe.
Especially if Boba Fett's actually in it, like the rumor. And
Yeah. So next point of movie news is like out of nowhere, all of a sudden it just got sprung upon us that they've already filmed and pretty much completed Borat 2.
Nobody asked for that.
Yeah. No one did, but
We'll take it.
My thoughts and feelings and opinions of that.
Wow, is very nice.
Absolutely. That there's going to be a Borat 2. Now, reading about it, they said that originally there really couldn't have been a Borat 2 because everyone knows Sacha Baron Cohen looking like Borat. Everyone can see Borat coming from a mile away. The original movie was extremely popular.
Yeah.
So everyone's so used to how he looks that he's not going to be able to fool anyone. Now, they're taking that idea and twisting it. That now, because the movie was so popular that Borat the character is going a little meta. Borat the character is now having to disguise himself while he's still Borat. So because of this, potentially they were able to film this entire movie as Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat disguising himself as like someone else.
So he's a dude disguised as another dude playing.
Exactly. So they managed to film this entire movie. And also keep in mind
Why?
how political this past year has been.
Oh, Lord, this is going to be a nightmare.
Oh, this has every possibility to be fantastic.
Oh, this is going to be a horrifying nightmare, and I'm not ready for it, and I'll probably still watch it anyway.
Oh, absolutely. But I like the fact the whole movie was pretty much filmed and completed and done, and as far as it looks like, it's almost ready to be released.
Yeah.
So who knows when we're actually going to I haven't heard anything about this until now, and this is news I feel like that was kind of broken just because someone just so happened to see Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat like walking down a street or something like that, getting into a van, and then that person kind of released the news, and then Sacha Baron Cohen's camp, I guess, was like, oh yeah, we are doing a Borat 2. In fact, it's already done.
What?
Yeah, so just moving on. Eager for this. Really eager because the first movie was hilarious.
Yeah, that's super fascinating. I don't know, like, so the first movie is, I watched it, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was funny, it had great moments. I'm not like super enthusiastic about Borat or really generally any of the stuff that Sacha Baron Cohen does. I don't think I've really actually seen any of his other anything. I haven't seen Bruno and I haven't seen The Dictator, so
Yeah.
Borat's pretty much the only like thing that he's done that I feel like I've seen. So I'm not like super like on board with it, but because I've seen the first one, I'll probably definitely see the second one. You know, obviously too, we have a YouTube channel that we do reviews and stuff on, so while I can fully like dismiss seeing horror movies all I want
Because I'm going to watch them.
because you're definitely going to watch them and still review them. Generally anything else roughly is fair game for me to still see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably still going to see it.
Well, I mean, let's keep in mind in that vein, if they ever do release that, was it Jackass 4? I'm probably not going to see that. You will.
I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah, I know you'll go see that.
How many nights lying in bed before going to sleep is those late night TV channel watchings, and it's like, mom and dad's gone to bed, you no longer live at home, I'm by myself. I'm like, all right, what are we watching? Jackass is on. What is this show? Oh, this show's hilarious.
Yeah.
They're idiots. I love it.
Well, I'm not a big fan of like bodily fluids.
Yeah, that part, those parts are typically really gross, but
Yeah.
the stunts and stuff are
The
really
the
funny.
physical stunts are usually really good. Like I like some of the stuff they did, like the giant hand that whacks them in
yeah.
the faces as they come down the hall. That was
Hey,
fantastic.
bam! I got something to show you. Yeah, what's it? Oof.
Or was it like Wee Man would run up and like punch someone in the nuts and then take off running? That's hilarious. But otherwise, yeah, not a big fan of the bodily fluid stuff. So I'm gonna pass on seeing that on the big screen.
Gross, but yeah, I mean Borat too. Probably see it.
Borat I like because it's that same kind of like pranking setup that Jackass can do.
Yeah.
But it's funny to say it has a lot more adult mindset behind it. Like some of it is very political, but it's political in a very broad spectrum in that he makes fun of like almost everything.
It's covering, as weird as it is to say, yeah, it's covering more mature topics, whereas Jackass is just stunts and gross stuff.
Yeah, more mature, but he's still going to these like really nice houses full of classy people and still like, is your wife a prostitute?
Yeah.
And like, okay.
He's still running through hotels with his buddy completely naked.
Yeah.
Real quick before we move on
Yep.
to the next one, we got Rockin' Movies with Tyler in the chat. It's our good friend Tyler Schwent in there, asking if I do a good Brock Sampson. Only in the extent that I can do anything. I can do a Patrick Warburton, and I can do Kronk, and I can do Joe from Family Guy, but I know that pretty much all of Patrick Warburton's voices are
Pretty much the
They're
same.
pretty close. I've never watched Venture Brothers, so I have absolutely no idea the exact inflection that he uses for Brock Sampson.
The fact that you even know that Brock Sampson was Venture Brothers is impressive.
Well, he also talked about Venture Brothers on here, but no, I did actually know that name is connected to Venture Brothers, but
I know the character. I can see what the character looks like in my head, but
if you want to drop another Patrick Warburton type voice, you don't have to do the super chat for it, but you want to do that instead of Brock Sampson, then I'm all on board. But I don't know if I could pull out Brock Sampson because I don't really know what that character sounds like specifically.
hey, Venture Brother, something like that.
Stop trying to steal my stuff. Get your own voices.
I have my own voices, but my voice is going to be like Marvin the Martian with this P32 modulator.
And he's really easy to do.
It's real easy to do.
Garth is like offended that you've never watched Venture Brothers.
Look, we miss things.
Yeah. Moving on. While we're waiting for that, box office numbers. We still have some. In
Barely.
fact, not only do we have ours, we also got China's.
Yeah, and that's kind of really the only one I really want to hit on here because, honestly, like, we know that Tenet and New Mutants are still making at least a little bit of money since they're really the only two movies that are out in domestic theaters. Whichever ones of those are actually open right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know Unhinged is out too, but who cares?
I know I got coworkers that were excited. I actually have one coworker that has seen Unhinged already, and she said it was pretty good. But it like,
Things.
and we were talking about it at work because, of course, they know I do this.
Yeah.
So therefore, I got to talk about movies. And I was telling them, like, it looks decent, but it looks like one of those that you pretty much would. It would be something that you would see in passing if you were at Blockbuster back in the 90s and
Yeah.
you're looking for something good. And the movie that just came out that you want has no copies behind the case, so you can't grab that one. Then you see Unhinged, you're like, oh, I'll take that one.
It's sitting next to whatever John Cena movie or he's playing some like CIA agent or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely feels like one of those like direct to DVD Russell Crowe needed a paycheck type movies. When I saw the trailer, but also the concept is really interesting too. Just the guy who's like road raging to the extent of he's following the main character of the movie and
Yeah.
whatnot. And it's kind of, I don't know, just it's weird.
I have heard like people talking about it, and they're like, "Yeah, the thing is like you watch the movie, and again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know
Yeah.
for certain. But
Same.
a lot of people who've watched the movie that are talking about, it, they're like, "Yeah, she kind of brought it on herself," and I'm like, "Really? Victim blaming is what we're gonna do in this? Okay, if she would have just minded her P's and Q's,
I mean,
pints and
sure,
quarts."
You can say that someone brings a consequence on themselves, but maybe the consequence shouldn't be
Road rage.
crazy guy following you and wanting to kill you.
Oh yeah, no. If I accidentally cut someone off in traffic in real life, and I get like that horn honk or the middle finger, I'm usually like, "Oh, sorry, my bad." Or, well, move. I'm in a hurry to get to work.
Please try to have a great day despite my my buttishness.
My buttishness.
Welcome to a family-friendly channel.
We just talked about a movie called Jackass, and you're like, my buttishness, my jackassery.
Sure, that works too. Anyway, so really the only one we want to touch on here, you got Bill and Ted's in there, you got Unhinged, you got New Mutants, you got Tenet. All these movies are still climbing a little bit at a time because people aren't necessarily comfortable about going to the theater still. We are looking at, where did it go? It disappeared on me already.
I think the key one domestically to look at it right now is Tenet, because that's the one that's going to be guiding the other major movies, whether they get pushed back or not.
Yeah.
Ooh. Had to cut that sentence short.
So the other one right now is that Mulan is actually opening in international markets. It's only available domestically on Disney Plus right now, and there's no real numbers to track that because Disney Plus would have to release those, and they're not yet.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really to track on that. But as far as international markets, Mulan did officially open up within the last 4 days in China, which there's a lot of controversy around that movie in China right now based on lead actress, and then there's controversy
Stuff that they've said
about where they shot at, and that's not necessarily controversy in China as much as it is controversy outside of China about where they shot certain scenes at within China. There's a whole lot of stuff that's kind of holding Mulan down and keeping it back from really succeeding in the box office.
I actually didn't know too much about the controversy of where it was shot until I watched the Honest trailer earlier today.
Yep.
And they briefly mentioned. I was like, oh, okay, now I get why that's. Ugh,
Yeah.
that's not good.
Yeah. Someone at Disney probably didn't do their due diligence enough.
Yeah. So thank you, Screen Junkies, for teaching me something.
Yeah, you done learned something. So the thing about China is, and that's the main number you're looking at, the fact that it's open and has currently grossed 23,200,000 in China is actually kind of impressive considering the flack it's getting and the way the world is right now. Although China is a big country, so maybe it's not that impressive.
I would say you're like a cup half full type of person over here.
I'm trying to be optimistic about movies right now. I really am. It's done pretty decent across various the say like the Asian Pacific, where you've got like New Zealand, you've got Singapore. I don't think it's open necessarily in Australia, but actually I don't even know if it's really open. It's not even open in New Zealand. It looks like it's on Disney Plus in New Zealand also. So
yeah, I
don't know. There's just a few countries out there that have gotten access to it, and for that, its total worldwide gross right now is 37,600,000. It's a very interesting situation that we're in right now with these movies, because we're typically used to a big movie like Mulan could potentially, just controversy aside, hit the billion mark.
Yeah.
It might not have. It might have, topped out somewhere between the $700-800 million range, like most of these other. But I mean, you look at Lion King. Lion King hit that $1 billion, and it was the same exact movie as the '90s animated. It's just sans emotion.
Yeah, any emotion.
If that movie can hit $1 billion,
my father died.
No, Dad.
Don't.
No, Dad. No, Dad. No.
No.
No. Oh. Let me climb underneath your paw again. No? Okay. Wah. Yeah.
Dad?
So...
Daddy?
We're done. So...
I'm looking down here at the delay and seeing it on the laptop, and I'm like, that's pretty much what it was. That was actually probably our best impression tonight.
Yeah, real animals don't emote, so that movie kind of just... that being said, it is responsible for a lot of things that they're able to do in Mandalorian right now, too. If you know anything about what Jon Favreau did on that movie, and if you watch the Disney gallery behind the scenes of Mandalorian, so that's actually really impressive. And
they had one whole room that's like a giant green screen. We just have a wall that has...
It's not even a green screen. It's just a screen.
Yeah. Well,
The
because you could key out pretty much any solid color.
Yeah.
Just green and blue are what...
Yeah, if we can do it, they can do it.
Yeah.
So Mulan
Wait,
probably would have opened to a fair decent amount of money, at least a $90 million opening potentially under no pandemic or anything. opens to whatever it's made on Disney Plus, and it opens in China to 23 million. It's opening worldwide. to
Which
36.
the Disney Plus numbers are not really figuring into, like, the box office charts.
You really can't, because then you'd have to do like a census taker and go by household to see how many people live in your household that are actually watching this.
Speaking of which, we need to fill out the census.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 people living in our house, both male, 30s, white. There you go. Take it, government. You're already watching this anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
So that being said, apparently Mulan is still doing well on Disney Plus because Disney is very heavily looking at releasing Pixar Soul
yeah.
on the same platform as well. So kind of like the joke they made on the Honest trailers this morning was like, yeah, so it should have been in the theater, but instead it's just another way for Disney to try to monetize some extra revenue. Oh, well, yeah, if we could do it with that, let's just do it with Soul also. Like,
That one makes a lot of sense, though, because it's an animated movie. There's not a whole lot of overhead in terms of, like, movie sets and locations and a whole huge crew. There's animators and voice actors. And then there's just the overhead for the studios in general. That one you're going to be able to pump out on a platform like that. A little bit easier to be able to make at least a good, decent chunk of change back on it.
yeah.
Soul, I believe, also because it's a new Pixar movie, would do actually very well in terms of selling Disney Plus to some people. Especially since we've already gotten the trailers and stuff for it, and it looks good. It looks like a good Pixar movie, and I'm ready to see it. So
Looks like Inside Out, but with some soul.
that was dumb.
It wasn't trying to be funny. That actually, That's
I said
how
what I said.
That's exactly how I would describe that movie.
I know. I said what I said. I'm just kidding. Anyway, you see Soul going there. They're probably definitely going to be pushing Black Widow. You know, you see Wonder Woman got pushed to December. I don't know if there's been any word on Dune yet getting pushed, which it would make sense to do so. But, you know, you see some of these movies are getting pushed now once again because there's numbers coming back from the box office right now. Tenet is being a guinea pig, essentially, and studios are like, we really don't like what we're seeing, so let's not do our movie yet.
I know the thing to keep in mind on that is, again, Tenet is not a previously known IP like Wonder Woman is. But Tenet is pretty much being sold solely based off of Christopher Nolan's name being attached to it.
Christopher Nolan is a previous IP, and Time is a previous IP.
Well, I mean,
I don't
but
think
not like
the
Wonder.
word IP means.
Yeah,
The acronym is.
you keep saying that word. I don't.
Keep using the acronym. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I don't think it means what you think it means. Speaking of which, they're doing like was it the Princess Bride reunion? That sounds fantastic. Anyways, moving on. Was it you had there was another DC Fandom event this past weekend.
A much smaller one because I don't know if too many stories actually came out of that pertain to the movies at all.
There was one in particular where producer Barbara Muschietti from doing the Flash movie, she gave a little more clarification as to what exactly we're supposed to see in this Flash movie.
Kind of confirmed what we were all thinking, really.
And the key importance on this is it really opens up literally a world of possibilities. She was quoted saying, well, I want you to go see it. I'm not going to tell you a lot, but what I will tell you is that it's a ride. It's going to be fun and exciting. There's a lot of DC characters in it. Flash is a superhero of this film because he is the bridge between all of these characters and timelines. And in a way, it restarts everything and doesn't forget anything. So essentially, end quote, they're like, yeah, we didn't start off as good as the MCU did. We kind of fudged this up. Only they didn't say fudge.
Only they didn't say fudge.
They kind of fudged this up, and so they're using essentially.
They said frig.
They're essentially using the Flashpoint storyline from the comics as a way to reach out to alternate timelines and other dimensions, essentially, and just reboot the darn thing.
That's how mutants come into the MCU.
Yeah, because Flash. Anyways, so That's saying like a lot of it, like some of the characters may still stay the same. You may still, as far as we know,
So Wonder Woman, Aquaman, possibly Superman.
we may still
Shazam.
get Ben Affleck as Batman for a time, but there's also a possibility where this may reach out to Robert Pattinson and get his Batman, which may also potentially could be in the same universe as Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Maybe. Who knows? This has the potential to bring all of that together. And that's a very interesting concept if they're able to do it.
It's literally an anything can happen scenario. I mean, you look at they're saying that the Robert Pattinson Batman universe it's on its own, it's separate, it's not doing anything connected, but that could be a bull-faced lie. And then you have you look at the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, and those probably aren't going to be connected at all. Just because I don't think anyone who's a part of those projects really wants to kind of come back at all.
I want to see them be like connected to like Inception and Tenet, though. Like if all of that was a part of the same.
The Christopher Nolan cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Interstellar. It's all from the new world discovered after Interstellar. Anyway, yeah. This is intriguing to me, and I think I've said this before. I'll absolutely repeat it again. DC's looking at what Marvel has done. Not that these two are full on in competition with each other in terms of how do we tell our stories, because someone like me, I'm going to go see a DC movie, I'm going to go see a Marvel movie. I'm going to see them both. Deal with it. But they're looking at how Marvel has told their story. The cinematic universe that Marvel has spawned and has had great success, and really so far
I don't have that sound clip.
the only real great success.
Great success.
The only real cinematic universe that has had an actual level of success that anybody can see. DC's looking at that and going, okay, how we do this. And the way I look at it is Marvel has created a cinematic universe. They've created their own centralized cinematic universe. We started it with Iron Man. It's still going on right now. DC saying, cool, we're going to have Flash do this thing across multiple dimensions, and let's just say we've been working on our cinematic universe from the very beginning. So Christopher Reeve Superman, granted you're not going to get Christopher Reeve, but Michael Keaton Batman, like that image you just brought up showed, being there with Flash.
Was that Michael?
Yeah, that's the Michael Keaton Batman. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, did you not know it?
I did not necessarily notice that when I was putting this together, but that is kind of cool looking.
Did not know that. Yeah, no, that's the 89 Batman with Flash. So what you're looking at is you're looking at every movie that DC has ever made as part of their cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a really dope thought. I know it's we're all excited. I'm really curious as to what general audiences are going to think, because that's going to be wait, who's what and where and where'd they come from and why? That I feel like that's going to be super confusing for a lot of audiences, but I know for us it's going to be hey, yeah, it's Michael Keaton. He was in the 89 Batman. It's part of this thing now.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a blast.
Wait, why is he in there? Obviously you're a person that's not on the internet a lot.
You don't follow movies. Because he can be, and they want to, and have fun, okay?
Yeah. So interested to see where this can go, because this is a step, I would say, potentially in a right direction. The only thing that I feel still kind of hinges on this is for DC, I want to hear that they essentially have a Kevin Feige. Yeah. They need the one person who's rooted who's rooted in the comic knowledge and the movies, and is the guiding hand throughout all the movies being developed. We still don't necessarily have that for the DC movies yet.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is because of how much DC is controlled by Warner Brothers, in that it's more of a Warner Brothers is handling everything DC related, while if you go back over to the Marvel side, Marvel has always been in control of their own properties. They've just gone through like different either production houses, distribution companies, or in this case now Disney.
Yeah.
And Disney's like, hey, just go do your thing. You're already successful. You've already done fantastic.
Here's
everything
money,
you've done.
Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, everything you've done so far is the reason why we wanted to buy you.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it right. You know what to do. So go do your thing, instead of them like, hey, we're going to essentially hire you and then tell you how to do things. Kind of feel like this has a personal connection to me. I'm not going to get into that though. Anyways, so yep, that look kind of says it all too. Anyway, so I kind of like that. So speaking of Marvel,
Nice transition.
because our if you go back and look at our DC reviews and trailer reactions, apparently we absolutely hate DC. Yeah, you know what? Screw you people. I like DC. I really like DC. They are slightly more in the negative than Marvel has
Expect
been.
better from them because I know they can do it.
Yeah. So let's talk about Marvel for a minute. There was some news released here.
Hey.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors from Lovecraft Country, that's currently playing on HBO Max, has been, I guess, hired.
He's been cast in
He's
Ant-Man
been
3.
casted for Ant-Man 3 to essentially play Kang the Conqueror.
I don't know if it's like full on confirmed, but it's at least very heavily rumored that he's playing Kang.
So here's where this gets interesting. Much like the Flash and the Flashpoint is dealing with time and other dimensions and stuff, that's what Kang does.
Yeah.
Those of y'all who know the comics, Kang is originally Nathaniel Richards, which is like Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, his like great something or another.
He's far down the line.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah.
He's old as mess. But he's a time traveler, so he can go through and over the years he's had different personas throughout all the time traveling, jumping around. I'm not going to get into all that because we're here to talk about movies and not necessarily the comics.
Very fascinating character with a lot of depth.
Yes. So he's potentially playing Kang. The first thing on this, though, is that brings in a connection to Reed Richards, to the Fantastic Four. This is how they're going to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU. Again, Kang just being a rumor. But that's quite possibly a solid connection right there. Plus, you're talking about this is supposed to be an Ant-Man 3, which Ant-Man has already been essentially the catalyst to time traveling in the Marvel Cinematic Universe anyways.
Why this makes so much sense.
Yeah, so
It doesn't at first, but if you really think about it, it does.
I feel like they could go the storyline of coming off of like Endgame. They're like, oh, well, Scott Lang was the one who discovered how to time travel in the quantum realm, and then Kang pops up and like, oh, Scott Lang, I've been looking for you. No other person has been able to do what I can do. I must stop you because you have the potential to undo everything that I want to do, type of thing.
Yeah, there's any number of directions that you can take Kang just because his many appearances within the comics, being a villain for the Avengers and just, you know, being a villain for Fantastic Four and kind of all that stuff.
X-Men.
And X-Men.
Yeah, so the one I will touch upon because I really like this idea is that he was also Rama Tut, which was the one who adopted the infant Apocalypse, which they didn't really touch upon in the Apocalypse movie, but let's be honest, they didn't really touch upon a lot of stuff in the Apocalypse movie.
Apocalypse.
Yeah. But yeah, he's essentially the one that kind of helps create Apocalypse way back in ancient Egypt. So there's that connection as well. This means a lot for both the Fantastic Four and the X-Men properties in the MCU.
There's so
Great
much,
idea.
There's so much that they've done, that they've set up, that say Endgame could actually be the beginning game for a lot of things, because they utilized Endgame to kind of start the whole time traveling scenario, which brings about a lot of fancy stuff, especially if they're going a little more cosmically too. I mean, you're looking at a situation where you are going to have the Fantastic Four involved. You are going to have Silver Surfer Galactus at some point. You're going to get Kang at some point. Like, all this stuff, I mean, we're waiting on the Eternals still. That's supposed to come out here in a couple months, and it's going to be next year now.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of stuff that's going to be happening. Kang, really, if I'm going to be completely honest, Kang is the main reason, honestly, why I wanted the Fantastic Four out of Fox's hands and back into Marvel's hands. Just because there's just so much that you can do with that villain. He could easily be the next like Thanos level villain for the MCU should they be looking for that kind of situation with the rest of their movies. He's from the future, so he's got a ton of like future tech. He's got a ton of like power. He knows things that are going to happen. He's in ways that Thanos wasn't. Kang is almost unbeatable.
Yeah,
to a degree. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they portray his character, how he connects to Reed and all that, and are they going to utilize him to bring in the X-Men, to bring in mutants and stuff? Are we looking at that with this dimension hopping with the sorcerers and time hopping with Ant-Man and all this stuff and what they did in Endgame? Are we going to be bringing in mutants and all that now from all this? There's a lot of really fascinating stuff that we're just going to have to kind of wait and see on for the MCU. But I for one am very excited about the possibility of Kang. As far as Jonathan Majors, however,
that's what I'm looking at. Is like, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't think I'm looking at his filmography. Neither one of us have watched anything that he was in.
Yeah, we're not caught up on Lovecraft Country for sure.
The main thing it looked like that really brought him prominence was he was in The Last Black Man in San Francisco last year, and I remember hearing about this movie and hearing it was really good.
Yeah.
He's also in The Five Bloods with Chadwick Boseman. So there's a couple of movies out that he's pretty well known in that we could watch and kind of get an idea. I have to believe though, again, in Marvel we trust. If he's being casted as Kang, again, going back to describing Kang as like the next Thanos, we have to assume that as an actor, he's fully capable of sustaining and kind of controlling an entire franchise like that. I mean, look back at Josh Brolin as Thanos. He wasn't like he's easily one of the top Marvel villains, which the Marvel villains typically suck.
Give or take a few.
But there's a couple of them that I would say are really good. Thanos, they did a fantastic job on. Loki, Thanos, Black Panther, Killmonger. Killmonger was really good. I even kind of like what they did with what's his face, the Zemo in Civil War.
I actually really like what they did with him.
And they're bringing him back.
I'm very interested in seeing what they do with him with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, because that was a good character. Daniel Bruhl is a really good actor. So I'm eager to see what they do with him. But to give this actor, Jonathan Majors, who again has only been like in a handful of films it looks like so far, to give him that character to essentially control, like Thanos was controlling of the MCU as so far as we know it, essentially, to give him that kind of control as well, that speaks volumes on his ability to act. And yeah, I'm really eager to see what he could do. Oh yeah, Red Skull was really good too.
Yeah, I liked Red Skull. I think Hugo Weaving did a fantastic job at that.
Hugo Weaving and what's his name that did it in?
Glad you brought him up.
His name's on the top of my head. If this
Mark
was
Wand.
Yes, if this was Schmodown, I'd be like, I can see his face. I can't get his name.
But Ross Marquand.
Ross Marquand. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great Hugo Weaving doing Red Skull impression. Which
Yeah.
is really all they needed for that role at that point because he's caked in makeup.
I mean, essentially, when they showed him, it looked and sounded exactly like Hugo Weaving's Red Skull.
It's just a more tied
Fantastic.
Red Skull. So,
Yeah.
anyway, very interesting stuff ahead for the MCU. Who knows when we'll see Black Widow? I think it's getting delayed.
It's probably going to be delayed as well. So the nice thing is so far we've gotten some movies back. It was nice to finally watch New Mutants. It was nice to be able to go see Tenet.
It'd be nice to be able to consistently go see movies, but if they
I do kind of like, as a YouTuber that's producing content based on these movies, I kind of like this little bit. We're essentially staggering these releases. Therefore, we're also staggering like movie trailers and stuff, which is great as far as being able to do content and produce content while you say you work a 40-hour job a week. Also, while the Schmodown is playing 4 times a week.
40 hours a week.
40 hours a week. So, I mean, it's been a blessing for us as far as being able to stay on top of this stuff. But I am, in all honesty, I am eager to get back to working and cranking out and building this channel. So those of y'all who are watching, again, thank you for watching this. Again, we do want to build this channel out, so make sure you subscribe to this channel. Share it with your friends. I know we got a lot of people. I see a lot of people in the chat that we see every week. You are the loyal followers. In fact, most of y'all are also patrons. So thank you. Your support is very much appreciated. We want
people in the chat. I gotta touch on something. So
anyway,
are you wrapping up or what?
No, you can do that since we happen to be on the topic of people in the chat.
Yeah. So Tyler dropped in there that I can do Joe.
Oh yeah.
So instead of doing Brock Sampson, we'll do Joe from Family Guy. Hey, Peter, come over here, Peter. Let's get ready to rock.
So you want to meet in the parking lot and have a fight after this? Was that Joe somebody?
Oh yeah, there's that too.
He wasn't Joe, but
you do that in front of your daughter. Tell you what, slap you around in front of your kid. Feed you some of Cusco's poison for Cusco. Squeak squeaker, squeak squeaking.
Yeah. Patrick Warburton has a great voice.
Patrick Warburton, yeah.
Oh, and then there was one of his iconic roles. Easily was him playing the Tick in the Tick TV show.
Spoon.
Yeah. I love the Tick cartoon as a kid growing up too. That was so ridiculous. He fought a guy whose name was like Chairface, whose head was a chair.
I feel like we just covered the gamut of Patrick Warburton voices.
Pretty much, yeah. Really?
On next week's show, we cover Spongebob voices. Oh God, no! Stop.
See, I do cartoon voices. You do more of the actors. I do more of the cartoon.
No, I'll do the Spongebob voices. You do some other thing.
Hey, SpongeBob.
What, Patrick?
See, I can.
No.
I can kind of do.
No.
Welcome to the hour where I get berated by my younger brother the entire time.
Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
I mean, that's good too. That's good too. Just say I'm good at something. I just need to be told I'm good.
You're good at things that aren't the things that I'm good at.
Anyways, so I can do Marvin the Martian and like Shaggy and Scooby and.
Well, I'm good at Marvin the Martian also.
Not as good as me. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this show tonight. Again, thank y'all for watching. Make sure, again, you like, comment, subscribe, everything on this show. We're trying to build it back up. Again, as the Schmodown is going back to not doing 4 episodes a week, we will be shifting this back to the 9:30 time slot.
Yep.
So just keep an eye out for that. We will be adding new stuff to the show as well, including a lot more interaction with the chat, stuff like games, kind of like we were doing before, where we were doing, like we did the Batman villain fan casting right before we started the replay.
Yeah, stuff
so
like that.
we want to do stuff like that. Just some more fun, get some ideas and stuff flowing. So looking forward to that. So we will be doing that again. Anyways, we are going to be hopping over to do the Schmodown replay, that thing, here in about 15 minutes or so. So make sure you just stay on this channel and go over and click onto that video that's already created. We'll be there momentarily.
Until then, though. See,
The Demon Bear?
I can't quite. Yeah, it was more Demon Bear. I was trying to get to Mr. Krabs, and I can really only do Mr. Krabs if I say, get on the Patreon and give us me money. That's about as far as I get, Mr. Krabs.
Why do you sound like the prison guard from Shawshank Redemption? You also sound like the Kurgan from Highlander.
Lex Luthor from the Superman animated series.
Oh, yeah, you definitely sound like Lex Luthor from the Superman animated series from the 90s. Interesting. Which is also quite possibly one of the best Lex Luthors ever.
That demon-looking dude from Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Let's just roll out all of his career.
All the Clancy Brown
Clancy
roles.
Brown career.
So Patrick Warburton, Clancy Brown. Y'all didn't know you were getting this with this episode tonight. Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight. Make sure you follow us. There you go. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CineFanaticsMLP. We also have our personal ones down below. Make sure y'all follow us there. We will see y'all again here in a little bit. Y'all all have a great evening and a good night. Later.
Bye.
Silly.
See you later.